Hi, welcome to my new video. You may not know too much about me, but if you did, you may know that I have a deep love for speedrunning. Watching it, doing it, supporting the people that do it, I love it all. Anyways, I've been sitting on this idea for a while and I'm glad to finally bring you my first ever video, speedrunning a game I've never run for 7 days. As you can tell by the video title, I chose Yooka-Laylee for my first 7-day speedrun challenge, and the reason I did that is primarily because I love platformers and speedrunning and I love short runs. Not only did a 15-minute run seem like a decent target to test my challenge on, but the game also plays and controls like a dream, so it was really fun to get to learn all the wacky things about it and start to speedrun it like a boss. So real quick, I'm going to explain the rules for all of you. I have to speedrun a game that I've never run before for 7 days and see how much progress I can make. Keynotes here being, I can't have ever run the game before, the timer starts for the challenge as soon as I watch the game's run with intent to learn and observe it, and there is no specified regimen for how I pace myself out. The amount of practice I put in fully depends on the amount of free time that I have in the 7 days, so it's pretty simple. Day 1 started off fine. I had looked at the length of the runs before choosing the game, but I hadn't looked at what tricks were in store for me to learn and repeat. Upon seeing the world record run for the first time, I was pretty floored, because the whole run is just clip, fall, clip, fly, clip, quiz, boss, and somehow it didn't look that hard. So first things first, I tried to clip through the first wall in the run, and after way too long of making no progress, I looked through a bunch of online speedrunning resources, namely the guides on speedrun.com's boards for the game. But I found nothing. Somehow I couldn't find a single explanation of what I was seeing. And long story short, it really just comes down to pausing when you're pixels away from the wall. As I had no explanation of how or why this works, I can only imagine that pausing the game causes the game to skip a moment forward to compensate for lag, making Yuka's collision pass right through the wall's collision. That's the best I've got. Day 2 was pretty much all hub world movement practice for me, an extension of day 1 if you will. I had to get the dash clip down and I needed to get used to doing everything as quickly as possible before getting to the boss. Day 3 is where I started getting some pretty spicy hub movement splits in practice, and as for the final boss, I could replicate the steps to get to the final phase like 90% of the time perfectly, and I was feeling pretty good about it. Until I wasn't. You see, day 3 is also when I bought myself a good old Ring Fit adventure, and I thought that would be something fun for me to do in between my huge bursts of speedrunning. And it was, sure, yeah, for that one day. I actually ended up pulling a muscle in my back, and it hurt a lot. Not fun. Day 4 I was at work. My whole day, save 7 hours, was taken up by life and back pain, but those 7 hours were pretty much all dedicated to making the fight with capital B smoother than butter. Unfortunately, that was all that happened that day. Not ideal. Moving on to day 5, I had work again. I still needed to beat capital B. He was currently the only thing really standing in the way of me being able to at least complete a run and start fighting for better times. But soon I realized that this would be no easy task. By the end of day 5, I had a brand new monitor and 0 complete runs of Yooka-Laylee to my name. Day 6, I streamed for 4 to 5 hours in the morning going for finished runs, but I couldn't do it. Once my stream ended, I lagged the rest of the day trying to find consistent ways to beat him, and that's when I found it. A YouTube video by Kainalo, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. A YouTube video by Kainalo explained the whole missile section perfectly, and how to get yourself set up for a great missile cycle. Following these instructions, I still took a really long time to actually catch on to how to jump onto the missiles, which seemed to be my primary issue. I stopped for the day, and as I was about to sleep on day 6, I discovered that the game had downloaded to my SD card instead of my Switch hard drive, making my load screens literally about 10 to 15 seconds longer than the world record run. I remedied that situation, and then I went to bed. Day 7, the last day. Another work day as well. I knew it would only be another 7 hours of practice that I had before my challenge came to a close, so I studied the world record video and Kainalo's video at any points that I could throughout the day, trying to absorb anything that I could from them to help me in the end. And once I got off work, it happened second try. I actually finished a run in practice. Timed splits and everything. This is great. It felt pretty convincing, and I knew at the time that I'd be able to do that again within the 5 or 6 remaining hours. But I actually couldn't. Yeah, I was pretty disappointed. After all was said and done, I hadn't been able to finish a run on recording, but that was hardly the point of this challenge. The practice run PB that I got actually ranks about 4th place on the leaderboards. And yeah, maybe the leaderboard is pretty outdated now, but in 1 week's time, I'm pretty proud of it. My run was only 2 minutes and 5 seconds off of world record, and there were some horrible splits even by my standards within that run. Comparing my best splits to the world record splits, I'm only 1 minute and 1 second off. Needless to say, for 1 week of decently strenuous practice, I'm happy with the result of this challenge, and I'll definitely be doing more of them in the future. Thanks for watching, everybody, and if you've got a game or a run that you think would be particularly fun for me to give a shot for 7 days, feel free to drop it in the comments section below. Sub if you want, like if you like. Peace.